What's up, everybody, and welcome to an all-new episode of Casters of Horror. I'm Chris Mass.
I'm Shane, and this week, with heavy hearts, we pay our respects to an absolute legend in the industry, the great Tony Todd, with Candyman.
Yeah. Tony Todd was a friend of the podcast in a way. We both followed each other, talked to each other, whatnot. It wasn't like one of those close friendships, but he was someone that we had conversations with. So when we heard that he had passed, we were like, we got to do an episode dedicated to him. So Shane said, why don't we do Candyman? So I was like, all right. So this is the 1992 classic Candyman, starring Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd, and a young Vanessa Williams, if anybody can pick her out of the lineup.
Xander Berkeley is in this too.
Xander Berkeley, yeah. And Dewan Guy, it says. according to IMDb, Dewan Guy.
I saw that in the credits. I'm like, I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah, I had to bring it up. Ted
Raimi is in this too.
Ted Raimi, I know. Yeah, I was kind of shocked. I was like, Dewan Guy's brother's in it too. Deodawan Guy. So this is the 1992 classic. There was a Jordan Peele, not necessarily a remake, but a continuation came out. What was it? 2022, 2023?
It was just a few years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. But this is again the classic, the one that kind of put Tony on the map. He had done like Platoon, and you know what? It's Tony's show. Let's go down a few of Tony's walk here. Known for he was in The Crow. Forgot about that. The Rock, Candyman. Let's see what else we got. Let's go to some early stuff. Oh my word. I'm going to be scrolling here for the whole episode. Oh man, Final Destination.
I was going to say that's probably the other one he was like really, really well known for in this sphere.
Yeah, Masters of Horror TV series, Hatchet. I think did he do Hatchet 2 also? I know he was at least in the first Hatchet. I'm sorry.
There's just so much. I mean, he did so much. It's unbelievable.
Incredible career. Hopefully he had an incredible life. I know he's got a wife and a daughter that he's leaving behind. His daughter actually just recently got married. And congratulations went out to them on that from us. And it's wild. It came out of nowhere. He was 69 years old?
That sounds right. Something like that,
just out of the blue. I mean, I was just reading some of his posts and stuff, and then the next day he was gone. So don't take life for granted, people, because you never know what's going to happen next. But anyway, this is the 92 classic Candyman. The story goes where there is is she a professor? Yeah, she works at the university. Her and her friend are doing a thesis on what do you call that? Cult.
Or like urban legends.
Legends, yeah. And the one that they had specifically gone for was Candyman. And the lore behind Candyman is if you say his name 5 times in the mirror, that he will appear behind you, and basically your life is ended. You are unalived at that point. Candyman, of course, played by Tony Todd. Which, believe it or not, when he had those bees, there was a scene where he has bees in his mouth and everything.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
real. Like those were real bees, and he
Yeah.
actually he told the director, he goes, "I'll do it," but he would get $1,000 per sting if
Yeah.
he got stung, and he got stung a few times.
And so he
Uh,
ended up with like over 20 grand out of that one shot, I
yeah, it
think.
was something like
Something like
that.
that.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah.
crazy. There were continuations to the Candyman story. It just, we're reviewing the first one.
Yeah. And
Um,
I had never seen this one, so this just one of the many,
correct.
that had escaped my viewing, and so I actually knew very little at all about this movie or the series or anything, so
Yeah.
I pretty much went into this completely fresh. So
This was I was 12 when it came out. I was in a very religious house, so yeah, I wasn't able to watch it,
yeah,
of course. So my horror, career didn't start till much later in life. Yeah, take that, mom and dad.
yeah,
Um, so, yeah, Jesus. Um, so the one. But so yeah, so this was Tony Todd's big foray, like into the horror. I mean, he became a horror icon after this. Toys
Mhm.
made after him and everything. Playing Candyman. He I'm trying to find the words to say right now. This was a sweet role for him. Had you hooked from the
Jeez,
from the beginning. Just it stings you and stays with you. So, oh
yeah.
man,
Had you seen this one before?
I had not
Okay,
seen the original one.
okay.
So, to me, it was, it definitely had that 90s vibe to it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. But of course Tony was iconic in this one. I
Mhm.
mean, just his his role, his presence in it. Once you heard his voice the first time, you're like, "Oh
Yes.
yeah." But
Which he does, like, it kind of starts with a narration from him,
yeah,
but I would argue that's not like the
that's not
that's
the
not
golden
really
moment.
that's
That
not the first time. I mean, it is the first time you hear his voice, but
yeah,
it's almost comes across as a narration. The
yeah,
first time you really hear his voice in the film proper, it's like, whoa, there's
commanding.
presence to
Yeah,
it.
very commanding.
Yeah.
But Shane,
Yeah.
what did you think of this film? What did you think of it all together as a whole?
Yeah, I
And
mean,
where
for
was you
one,
going?
like you said, there's no escaping this. This feels '90s horror,
Yeah.
right? But man,
The
I loved this movie.
cinematography and everything, the lighting
Yeah,
up close, with the light right across the eyes.
even like the really long, bizarre opening shot, right? Which this one is like on a highway and it's following cars on a highway. There's I don't really know, like if that was supposed to be representing anything, or if it was just one of those. Oh, this is a '90s movie opening. That's what it felt like.
I don't know if we were to
You
put
know?
anything on it. We're like cars, beehive. I don't know. If
Yeah,
it was a stretch. It was a stretch,
yeah.
but
But I mean, I don't know. I thought this was a fantastic film, and it's one of those that I understand why it's a classic and why it's
yeah,
so loved,
yep,
and it just hit all the right notes for me. You might argue that it does take a while getting to where it goes, but I didn't feel bored.
yeah,
It was a '90s paced movie. you know,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, at
but
times it almost feels more like a investigative cop movie
yeah,
rather than a horror film. And
yeah,
then it kind of takes some turns and it
yeah,
gets there.
yeah. Because there's even like arguably a point, even pretty well into it, where it's not even actually clear that there is something supernatural going on, right?
Yeah.
Because they kind of set it up as though there might not be, but once it goes pretty hard, and yeah, man. It's also another one of those things where you're like, well, is there though, or is this main character just kind of losing it? you know, it's not really sure, but yeah, man, I don't know. It felt very 90s, but yeah, but I can see why it was so well loved. This was a
Yeah.
great movie, and it made me want to actually check out the rest of them until I saw how hated the other two, or the two sequels are. So it's like, okay, well,
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe I would still watch them just for Tony Todd's presence,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Because we've got, after Candyman, like I had said, there was Candyman Farewell to the Flesh, Candyman 3, Day of the Dead, and then again 2021 was the Jordan Peele
oh, okay.
version. But yeah, they kind of took that whole Hellraiser kind of route where it's kind of like, mm, are these
Yeah,
good?
yeah.
But I'm not gonna down them though. People love Candyman, so
Yeah, okay, people do. Did you love it, though? Because you haven't really said much about what your feeling was.
Tony Todd was great.
Yeah, okay.
But no, he
Yeah,
really did. I mean, he did well. And no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. I had a good time with it.
yeah.
Um, uh, did it hold up like in today's version of horror? Maybe not, but I could still see why it was a classic. At
Yeah.
the time it was like, this is hard hitting, man. This is hard stuff. I mean, we just came off of watching Terrifier 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but let us know what you guys think. I mean, I thought it was good, but let us know what you guys think of it down in the comments down below, and make sure while you guys are down there, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And let us know your memories of Tony Todd. What's your favorite Tony Todd film? Put it down in the comments while you're down there.
Yeah, I'd like to know, like, we know of kind of his most iconic roles. I'd
Yeah.
like to know, from his long filmography list, are there any that you think we should check out? Horror or not, honestly, give me your favorite Tony Todd
Yeah.
appearances. I'd
Yeah.
like to know.
Cast in anything, even if it's the new Spider-Man video game where he played Venom. I
Yeah,
mean,
in Spider-Man 2, yeah.
yeah. So, yeah. Let us know what you guys think. Tony, we're gonna miss you, man.
Yeah.
And our condolences to your family and to the horror community in general. So, anyway, until next week, people, I'm Chris Mess.
I'm Shane.
Get the hell out of
See ya.
here. We'll see you guys.